Entering crypto often begins with curiosity mixed with hope, and many investors don't realize how strongly emotions guide early decisions. When you first enter crypto, your expectations often form before you understand how unpredictable human emotions shape every movement. Early excitement can feel powerful, yet it often masks the uncertainty underneath, pushing beginners to act before thinking clearly. It's natural to feel hopeful when you see movement, yet hope can distort your ability to judge situations with clarity. At the beginning, most investors underestimate how emotions like excitement or fear influence the timing of every decision they make. When you first explore crypto, your mind often tries to find patterns quickly, even when those patterns don't truly exist. Your early beliefs about crypto usually form from stories, not experience, and these stories can strongly influence your expectations. Emotion plays a major role in your first steps, often creating confidence before real understanding has a chance to develop properly. Your first impressions of crypto often feel exciting, but excitement without perspective can lead to unrealistic expectations and confusion. Crypto's global scale can feel empowering, yet that same scale often creates uncertainty beginners don't fully recognize at first. At the start, people often rely on emotion more than structure, especially when they're unsure how to navigate new financial environments. Beginners sometimes believe success arrives quickly, but that belief usually forms from emotion rather than real understanding or experience. Hope motivates many beginners, but without awareness, hope can quickly evolve into pressure to succeed too quickly. Many new investors believe strong emotions mean strong signals, yet emotions often cloud clarity rather than provide meaningful guidance. When you first explore a new financial world, uncertainty can feel uncomfortable, making emotional impulses seem more convincing than logic. Crypto often attracts beginners during moments of hope, but hope without structure can easily turn into disappointment and confusion. Your emotional expectations at the start usually come from imagination, not experience, making self-awareness crucial during early decisions. Early optimism can feel inspiring, yet it may also encourage unrealistic assumptions that complicate your understanding of market behavior. Crypto often feels exciting at first, but excitement can lead beginners to ignore risks that become clearer only with time and patience. As you enter crypto, noticing your emotional reactions becomes essential, because unmanaged feelings often influence choices more than knowledge. In the beginning, investors often trust their feelings more than facts, creating choices influenced by intuition rather than true understanding. Beginners often hope for direction, yet seeking certainty in a shifting environment creates stress that influences every decision they make. During your first experiences, excitement may appear helpful, but excitement without patience can lead to rushed choices and disappointment. Your mind naturally seeks patterns early, yet this tendency often creates illusions of control when emotional influence remains unrecognized. Your initial expectations often reflect hope more than strategy, and this mismatch can influence how you react to early market changes. In the beginning, you may seek quick insight, yet emotional impulses often guide decisions before you realize their influence. Beginners frequently see momentum where none exists, because emotional excitement creates imagined opportunities in otherwise normal movements. Hope can inspire you to start, yet without grounded expectations, hope may turn into pressure that harms your emotional stability. When you first enter crypto, the desire to feel informed can push you toward information that reinforces emotions rather than truth. Most beginners don't realize how strongly their expectations shape perception, influencing how they interpret even simple market behavior. Emotional noise often grows louder than logic, especially during your initial steps when the unfamiliar environment feels overwhelming. At the start, you may feel pressure to succeed quickly, but this pressure usually leads to decisions shaped by stress rather than clarity. Hope, fear, and curiosity often compete for attention during early decisions, shaping choices in ways you may not immediately recognize. Beginners often underestimate emotional impact, believing choices are rational even when feelings quietly drive each interpretation. Emotional reactions during early learning can distort your sense of timing, causing decisions that feel urgent even when no urgency exists. Your first emotional experiences create powerful memories, influencing how you approach risk long before you fully understand the environment. Early excitement often disguises uncertainty, making it harder to recognize when emotions distort your perception of what truly matters. Many beginners focus on movement rather than meaning, allowing emotional reactions to shape conclusions before understanding forms naturally. When emotions shape your early expectations, even small market shifts can trigger reactions that feel meaningful despite lacking real significance. Your early journey often feels personal, creating emotional attachment to outcomes even before developing true understanding. You may feel pressure to prove yourself early, yet this pressure usually reflects emotional expectations rather than real opportunity. Early decisions often feel meaningful because emotions magnify their importance, making normal experiences appear critical. Beginners frequently assume their feelings reflect market truth, even though feelings often respond to uncertainty rather than insight. Emotional noise becomes louder during early steps, making every minor shift feel important, even when it holds little meaning. Early confidence can be comforting, yet it often emerges from imagination rather than experience, shaping choices prematurely. Beginners often overestimate their understanding because early enthusiasm creates the illusion of clarity despite limited experience. Many beginners chase movement instead of meaning, creating emotional decisions driven more by reaction than real understanding. Your mind may amplify hope or fear early, making ordinary events appear dramatic even when nothing unusual is happening. When you lack experience, emotions try to fill the gap, pushing your decisions toward instinct instead of thoughtful evaluation. Hope may motivate your first steps, yet unmanaged hope can develop into pressure, influencing choices you didn't plan to make. Your emotional sensitivity during early experiences affects how you view risk, often making normal fluctuations feel exaggerated. Beginners frequently misunderstand discomfort, interpreting emotional tension as danger even when the market behaves normally. Emotional attachment to early outcomes can distort your learning process, making objective judgment difficult until awareness improves. The desire for clarity often pushes beginners to react quickly, confusing emotional discomfort with meaningful signals. Your first emotional responses influence how comfortable you feel, shaping future choices long before true confidence develops naturally. Beginners often misjudge their reactions, believing strong feelings reflect strong opportunities, even though emotions rarely reveal real insight. Understanding your emotional tendencies early prevents unnecessary stress, helping you develop healthier habits for future decisions. As you continue learning, you may notice emotional habits forming quietly, shaping how you interpret movement long before logic takes over. Your emotional triggers start becoming clearer, revealing how deeply hope, anxiety, and curiosity influence your first interpretations. You may begin noticing patterns in your reactions, recognizing moments where emotion pushes faster than your understanding. You may feel pulled between patience and action, yet this pull often reflects emotional tension rather than real opportunity. Understanding how emotion influences your timing helps reduce unnecessary urgency, allowing decisions to develop with greater clarity.
You begin realizing that emotional discomfort often arrives before real insight, signaling areas where patience offers better understanding.
Patterns of excitement and doubt reveal themselves gradually, helping you see how deeply emotions shape your early learning experience. Recognizing emotional cycles early helps you avoid reacting to noise, allowing more measured choices during moments of uncertainty. When you observe your responses carefully, you start noticing how quickly emotion attempts to shape meaning before clarity forms. Emotion often creates a sense of movement even when the environment remains stable, influencing your interpretations without your awareness. Over time, you begin identifying which reactions come from understanding and which ones originate from emotional habit. Becoming aware of these emotional shifts reduces confusion, helping you respond with steadiness instead of reacting without direction. Recognizing how strongly emotions affect perception allows you to separate genuine information from feelings that distort your judgment. Emotional momentum can build quickly, pushing you toward decisions that feel intuitive, even when they lack thoughtful evaluation. As you observe your thoughts, you begin understanding how deeply emotional expectation shapes early interpretations of movement. Developing emotional awareness helps prevent reactions driven by pressure, allowing choices to emerge more thoughtfully and intentionally.
Your ability to recognize emotional signals improves gradually, offering clearer understanding of when feelings begin influencing your decisions.
Small shifts in mood can feel like major insights, Yet awareness helps you understand the difference between emotion and information. Recognizing emotional impulses helps prevent them from guiding your decisions, allowing space for more grounded interpretation. You start seeing how emotion creates narratives, shaping explanations that feel convincing despite lacking objective foundation. Emotional storytelling becomes more noticeable, helping you identify when your mind adds meaning where none truly exists. Understanding these patterns helps reduce emotional noise, allowing your decisions to form with clarity rather than impulse. As awareness grows, you learn to pause before reacting, giving yourself the chance to separate feeling from thoughtful interpretation. Your improving emotional stability becomes a tool, giving you space to respond thoughtfully instead of reacting quickly when uncertainty appears. Emotional awareness begins turning into emotional discipline, giving you the ability to interpret situations without letting reactions dominate your judgment. You start recognizing when your feelings intensify unnecessarily, allowing you to respond with clarity instead of accepting emotional urgency as truth. As your understanding deepens, reactions become calmer, allowing thoughtful interpretation to develop before emotions attempt to guide your decisions. You begin noticing emotional patterns from earlier experiences, recognizing how they shaped your assumptions before awareness started growing. With practice, you start trusting your ability to pause, allowing space for understanding to grow before reaching meaningful conclusions.
Your confidence becomes grounded rather than emotional, supported by awareness instead of assumptions formed during earlier reactions.
This shift helps you distinguish temporary emotional impulses from stable insights, improving the quality of every decision you make. You learn to recognize emotional spikes quickly, understanding that intensity doesn't always indicate importance or opportunity. Your improved ability to slow down helps create emotional distance, giving each decision a fair chance to develop thoughtfully. With more awareness, you understand that emotional clarity often matters more than knowledge alone when navigating uncertain environments. Seeing emotional cycles clearly helps you identify familiar reactions, reducing their influence on decisions requiring composure and patience. Your responses become more measured, shaped by deeper understanding rather than the emotional rushes that once guided your interpretations.
Emotional steadiness begins to feel natural, helping you stay composed when uncertainty appears and temptation to react becomes strong.
You learn that emotional clarity is a skill, developed through consistent reflection rather than forced through stressful experiences. This skill strengthens your judgment, helping you differentiate between reactions shaped by tension and insights grounded in understanding. Awareness supports emotional discipline, reducing the intensity of feelings that once dictated your timing and overall decision-making. You begin valuing steady emotional posture as highly as information accuracy, recognizing both contribute to better outcomes. As emotional turbulence decreases, you experience clearer thinking, supporting decisions built from genuine understanding rather than worry. Your growing stability helps you avoid reacting to noise, allowing discipline to shape actions once dominated by emotional impulses. With practice, you notice emotional triggers sooner, giving you the opportunity to respond intelligently instead of reacting automatically. Each moment of emotional awareness strengthens your discipline, reinforcing confidence that grows from consistency rather than chance outcomes. Your reactions slow naturally, allowing you to consider possibilities with greater patience and less pressure from emotional noise. Emotional discipline becomes part of your identity, helping you approach complex environments with steadiness instead of fear. You gradually build trust in your ability to remain calm, understanding that composed thinking improves outcomes more reliably than excitement. Your emotional clarity becomes a foundation, helping you navigate uncertainty while avoiding decisions shaped by tension or impatience. You continue developing the emotional stability necessary for disciplined decisions, ensuring long-term growth rather than reaction-based behavior. With growing stability, you begin seeing emotional patterns clearly, understanding how they once shaped decisions without your awareness. Emotional discipline helps protect you from impulses that once felt urgent, allowing choices to develop with thoughtful intention. You notice how emotional tension fades as clarity strengthens, offering space for decisions to form slowly and deliberately.
This steadiness allows you to navigate uncertainty with confidence, avoiding the rushed conclusions that once influenced your behavior. Your decisions become less reactive and more intentional, as emotional awareness supports patience, clarity, and long-term discipline.
Confidence gradually shifts from emotion-driven bursts to steady trust, built on understanding and consistent emotional reflection. This transformation helps you rely less on sudden feelings and more on measured insight, guiding your choices with stability. You begin transitioning from emotionally driven thinking to deliberate reasoning, giving yourself permission to act with greater calm. Your reactions become more predictable and controlled, shaped by understanding rather than emotional impulses demanding quick decisions. The emotional consistency you develop plays a crucial role in maintaining balance, especially when uncertainty challenges your perspective. Understanding your emotional baseline helps you stay grounded when conditions shift, preventing instinctive reactions from taking control. Awareness transforms reactive energy into calm observation, giving your decisions the space they need to form with greater intention. Over time, emotional discipline becomes a habit, supporting consistency even when outcomes remain unpredictable or difficult to interpret. Your perspective becomes broader as emotional influence weakens, allowing logic and patience to guide your long-term thinking. Decision-making feels calmer as you learn to separate emotional discomfort from real signals, improving clarity with each experience. Each step toward emotional clarity reduces reaction-driven behavior, giving every decision the support of reflection instead of impulse. Emotional neutrality becomes valuable, helping you remain balanced during moments when volatility challenges your sense of stability. You learn that emotional consistency isn't the absence of feeling, but the ability to respond without letting reactions direct your path. Clarity develops with consistency, making it easier to identify whether a thought comes from fear, hope, or genuine insight. You begin responding with intention instead of habit, recognizing how each reaction shapes your learning and long-term emotional patterns. Patience becomes easier as emotional influence weakens, giving you a clearer sense of when to act and when to remain still. This emotional balance protects you from the urgency that once pressured your decisions, helping you maintain steady, long-term focus. Greater discipline allows you to recognize when emotional temptation appears, giving you the strength to choose stability over reaction. You begin understanding that emotional clarity is a form of freedom, offering distance from impulses that once shaped your outcomes. Your increasing self-awareness brings a sense of calm, making emotional spikes feel less disruptive and easier to navigate.